Hi there, I'm Carolyn Spring. Every single week I receive emails from people saying that they've not been able to get treatment or help on the NHS. It's been a constant theme over several years, and there's often a sense of disbelief about the way that the people writing these emails have been treated. They're in disbelief really that they've not been offered any support. They might have been offered drugs, things like antipsychotics, which obviously have serious side effects and reduce life expectancy, but very rarely are they offered therapy or any other support. And so people write to me stunned that this is happening at all. And having received literally hundreds of emails saying the same thing, of course I'm not surprised. Within the first sentence or two, I know what's coming. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. Now, people often want advice from me, and that request for advice, that is based, I guess, on a belief that there's something that I can do about it, that there's something that they can do about it to change the situation, that it's rare, that it's an anomaly, that they've just been particularly unlucky with this one particular mental health trust or this one particular psychiatrist that they're dealing with. And my heart sinks because I know that it's not an anomaly, it's not unusual. And I often feel like I have absolutely nothing helpful to say, no advice to give, because actually this is the norm. And that's really depressing, isn't it? And I guess I'm drawing attention to it because I at least want people to realise that not being offered viable treatment from the NHS is nothing to do with them. It's not their bad. It's not because they're particularly complex, although that's what they're often accused of. It's not that they've been singled out. Unfortunately, this is just the way it is for the treatment of dissociative disorders on the NHS in the UK at the moment. So if you're in this situation, if you have dissociative symptoms, you have post-traumatic symptoms, you're struggling to cope and the NHS is being unhelpful, what can you do? Well, 3 things. Firstly, some people fight. They get their MP involved, they appeal, they make complaints, they take on the CCG or the Primary Care Trust. And sometimes they're successful. But of course it takes a lot out of them. It can take many years to get the treatment they need. Now, all credit to you if you have that level of perseverance and determination. Now, second suggestion, other people try the Clinic for Dissociative Studies in London. So their website is clinicds.co.uk, and they're a privately run NHS outpatient service, and they can guide you through the process of getting a referral from your GP and then applying for funding for them to provide treatment. Again, it's a tough process, but it's been successful for some people. Now, alongside that, some people think that getting a diagnosis privately, that's going to help them secure treatment via the NHS. Now, it doesn't seem to work very often, but if you want to pursue that, then the person to get in touch with is Remy Acrone at the Podgate Centre in Norwich, and that's at dissociation.co.uk. So they do private assessments. They might be able to help you get treatment on the NHS as well. And Remy's an incredibly experienced person, so a really good contact to turn to. Thirdly, the third alternative is to circumvent the NHS altogether and to go for private treatment. And this is basically what I did. So rather than spending what little energy and capacity I had fighting the system, I used it to pursue recovery instead. And now as it's what I did, it's always going to be a big part of what I suggest. I'm always going to be a proponent of it. But that's why I've mentioned the other 2 options first, because there's more than one way to skin a cat. And just because it was my way doesn't mean to say it should be your way. So please hear me right on this. Now, a lot of people say, but I can't afford private therapy. And I get that, because actually neither could I. In reality, you're currently looking at about £40 a week on average. Now, there are some places like charities or rape crisis centres who may be able to offer therapy for free, and there are also some therapists who charge a lot more than that. So my suggestion on that would be, can you be creative about ways of earning money to be able to afford it? So can you babysit? Can you dog walk? Can you car wash? Can you set up an affiliate website? Can you shorten curtains for people? Can you crowdfund? What can you do to earn a little bit of cash? And also don't forget to talk to potential therapists about whether they offer sliding scale fees based on your income, because a lot of them actually do. Can you afford therapy once a fortnight to start with, bringing the cost down to more like £20 a week? So see what you can manage, problem solve, figure something out. When I started therapy, I had very little income. I wasn't able to work and I wasn't entitled to benefits. My husband at the time was on a 0 hours contract, in effect. He didn't know each day whether he'd have any work. And so our monthly income, many months, was really paltry. So I totally get how tough it is. Now in total, I probably spent at least £25,000 on therapy. And from where I am now, I don't regret a single penny of that, because I'm back working full time, and more than that, I'm living life in the recovery lane. And in fact, I see it now as an investment in the same way as people might accrue that kind of debt to go to university. So again, hear me right on this. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that it is what it is. No one is going to come and wave a magic wand. My experience from hundreds, if not thousands, of survivors is that getting good treatment on the NHS is really hard and actually relatively rare. That doesn't mean to say it's impossible, but I'm being straight with you about the battle that's ahead of you. I really wish it were different, and lots of people are campaigning to get things to change, but in the meantime, it is what it is. Now, personally, I felt more in control, putting my energies into earning £20, £30, £40 a week to fund therapy than I did fighting a battle that I had no guarantee that I would win. And even if you get therapy on the NHS, there's no guarantee for how long. It could disappear at any moment. So don't think it's your fault. Don't think that it's personal to you. Accept that this is the truly terrible state of affairs for treatment for dissociative disorders in the UK at the moment. And if you're in need of help, you've already got limited capacity. You have to decide how you're going to use your energy. Either fight for help on the NHS, make use of the folks at the Clinic for Dissociative Studies or the Pottergate Centre, or put your effort into pursuing private therapy and earning the money you need to pay for that. But whatever you do, don't give up. I'm sorry it's not better news, but I hope it's helped you realise that you're not alone and that it's not your fault. Thanks for watching.